Get ready for an unforgettable 3-day adventure through Stockholm, from strolling through the cobblestone streets of Gamla Stan and marveling at the Vasa Museum to savoring traditional Swedish meatballs and embarking on a spine-chilling ghost walk. This itinerary is packed with the best of Stockholm's attractions and hidden gems. Stick around until the end for insider tips that will make your trip truly magical. Best time to visit Stockholm. It's always a good idea to be prepared for a bit of rain and chilly weather in Stockholm, even during the summer months. So don't forget to pack some layers and a rain jacket just in case. If you're after mild weather and smaller crowds, the best time to visit are April, May, September, or October. These months strike a great balance between pleasant temperatures and a more relaxed vibe around the city. The busiest and priciest times to visit is June through August. However, these months also come with Stockholm's longest and warmest days, making it the perfect season to soak up the sunshine and enjoy outdoor adventures. From November to March, the weather can get quite chilly and the days are shorter, but don't let that discourage you. The holiday season in Stockholm is nothing short of magical. Picture festive Christmas markets, ice skating under twinkling lights, heartwarming concerts, and cozy bars where you can sip on glögg, Swedish mulled wine, to keep warm. It's a winter wonderland you won't want to miss. City airport tips. Stockholm is served by Arlanda Airport, ARN, located about 25 miles from the city center. The most efficient way to get into the city is via the Arlanda Express train, which takes just 20 minutes and costs around $35 one way. For budget-conscious travelers, airport buses like Flygbusarna are available for $15. If you're traveling in a group, taxis can be an economical choice, with fares to the city center costing approximately $50 to $60. Where to stay in Stockholm? For the best experience, consider staying in Gamla Stan, Old Town, Södermalm, Norrmalm, or Östermalm. Gamla Stan, Old Town. Perfect for first-time visitors, this historic area boasts cobblestone streets, colorful medieval buildings, and close proximity to landmarks like the Royal Palace. Expect a charming, atmospheric stay. Södermalm. Trendy and vibrant, this neighborhood is ideal for young travelers seeking hip cafes, boutique shops, and a buzzing nightlife scene. It's a hub for creativity and energy. Norrmalm. Centrally located and modern, Norrmalm is a convenient base for exploring Stockholm. With easy access to attractions, shopping streets, and excellent dining options, it's a great choice for convenience. Östermalm. An upscale area featuring elegant architecture, high-end shopping, and some of the city's best restaurants. It also offers beautiful views of Nybroviken and is close to the peaceful Djurgården Island. Expect to pay $120 to $300 per night, depending on the level of luxury and location. Insider tip. Accommodation in Stockholm is expensive, just like everything else in the city. For stays between May and October, book well in advance to get a great deal. How to get around Stockholm. Stockholm is a wonderfully walkable city, but it's also quite spread out, so public transportation is your best bet for exploring everything this amazing city has to offer. The good news, Stockholm's public transportation system is super easy to use and budget-friendly. I highly recommend downloading the SL Ticket app on your smartphone. For around $23, you can grab a 72-hour pass that gives you unlimited access to the city's metros, buses, trams, and even ferries. It's the ultimate key to getting around hassle-free. Not sure which route to take? Simply pop your destination into the Google Maps app and it'll show you the best public transportation options along with departure times. You can even adjust the departure time and your date to plan your journey ahead of time. The SL app is also great for planning trips and tracking schedules. With these tools, navigating Stockholm is a breeze. Day 1. Dive into Stockholm's historic heart. Morning. Explore Gamla Stan, Old Town. Gamla Stan, Stockholm's oldest town, is one of the best preserved medieval city centers in all of Europe. Fun fact, Stockholm was actually founded here back in 1252. It's no surprise that Gamla Stan is absolutely bursting with charm, though you might need to overlook a few souvenir shops here and there. Take your time strolling through the narrow cobblestone streets surrounded by beautiful, colorful buildings steeped in history. Every corner of Gamla Stan tells a story, and the sheer amount of history tucked away in its walls is bound to leave you amazed. Stortorget. As you wander through Gamla Stan, make sure to visit its iconic central plaza, Stortorget. This is the oldest square in Stockholm, with its history dating back to 1420. Here, you'll find colorful medieval buildings standing proudly around the square, an 18th century water well, and plenty of charm. Grab a cozy seat at Chokladkoppen and indulge in their rich hot chocolate for around $6 perfect for warming up after exploring. If the weather is nice, settle onto one of the benches and soak up the lively atmosphere. Insider tip. Keep an eye out for the bloodbath plaque on one of the buildings, commemorating the Stockholm bloodbath of 1520, a dramatic slice of history hidden in plain sight. Visiting during Christmas time, Stortorget transforms into a magical Christmas market with over 40 charming stalls selling delicious treats, unique gifts, and of course glögg, mulled wine, usually for about $5 a cup. Nobel Prize Museum. The Nobel Prize Museum in Stockholm is tucked away in the historic Stortorget Square inside the old Stock Exchange building. This cozy museum highlights the fascinating history of the Nobel Prize and showcases the groundbreaking achievements of Nobel laureates from around the world. Here's my take. Unless you're a science enthusiast, already have the Stockholm Pass, which grants free entry, or find yourself dodging a sudden rainstorm, you might want to give this museum a pass. The entry fee is about $15, but with so much to see and do in Stockholm, there are better ways to spend your time during a short visit. Insider tip. If you do decide to visit, check out the chairs in the cafe. They're signed by Nobel laureates. It's a neat little detail that adds a special touch to the experience. Mid-morning, Stockholm Cathedral. While exploring Old Town, make sure to visit Stora Kyrkan, the old Stockholm Cathedral. This stunning Gothic cathedral, which dates back to 1306, is hard to miss with its pink facade and breathtaking interior. Inside, you'll find the oldest known image of Stockholm. How cool is that? And an impressive gilded statue of St. George and the Dragon. The entry fee is $10 per adult, which might feel a bit steep. Insider tip. If you have the Stockholm Pass, you can skip the fee because entry is included. Go on a free walking tour. If you're curious about Stockholm's culture and medieval history, don't miss out on this free walking tour. It usually runs most days at 10 a.m. and lasts about 1.5 to 2 hours. A perfect way to start your day while soaking up fascinating stories about the city. Although the tour is completely free, don't forget to book your spot in advance to secure a place. Insider tip. While the tour is free, guides rely on tips, so it's a nice gesture to show your appreciation. Most people leave around $10 to $20 per person, depending on how much they enjoyed the experience. It's well worth it. Have lunch in Gamla Stan. While Gamla Stan can be a bit touristy when it comes to dining, there are still a few fantastic spots worth checking out for lunch. If you're in the mood for traditional Swedish cuisine, I'd recommend Restaurang Tradition, Krippin, or Slingerbulten in that order. Insider tip. At Restaurang Tradition, try the Swedish meatballs with lingonberries. It's a classic. Prices here are usually around $20 to $30 per dish, but the authentic flavors make it totally worth it. If you're heading to Krippin, don't miss their fish stew. It's a local favorite. Expect to spend $25 to $35 for a meal. Finally, Slingerbulten offers hearty portions of traditional fare, with dishes costing around $15 to $25. Pro tip. Try to dine a bit earlier or make a reservation to avoid the peak tourist rush. Afternoon. Enjoy a fika. One experience you absolutely can't miss in Sweden? It's the fika. In fact, during your 3 days in Stockholm, you should make it a goal to enjoy fika every day. It's that special. So, what's fika, you ask? It's both a noun and a verb. It's the Swedish tradition of taking a break to enjoy a coffee, usually paired with a delicious pastry or sweet treat. Think of goodies like kanelbullar, Swedish cinnamon buns, or kardemommabullar, Swedish cardamom buns. But here's the thing, fika isn't just about the caffeine and sugar, though they're amazing. It's a moment to slow down, connect with friends or family, and take a breather from the hustle and bustle of life. It's as much about the experience as it is about the treat. While you're exploring Gamla Stan, make your way to Fika and Wine, a cozy little spot where you can savor authentic Swedish treats. Expect to spend around 6 to 10 USD for a coffee and pastry, depending on your choice. Insider tip. If you plan to visit in the late afternoon, you might score a quieter, more relaxed vibe as the morning rush dies down. Grab a seat by the window and enjoy people watching in this historic setting. It's the perfect way to soak in the magic of Gamla Stan while indulging in this Swedish tradition. Tour the Royal Palace. During your 3 days in Stockholm, you absolutely have to visit the majestic Royal Palace, located right in the heart of Gamla Stan. While the royal family doesn't actually live here, this stunning palace is still their official residence. With over 600 lavish rooms spread across 11 stories, it's one of the largest palaces in Europe. Talk about impressive! Inside the palace, you'll find jaw-dropping opulence, from the intricate decor to the priceless antiques in the royal apartments. Down in the dark vaults of the treasury, you'll get a glimpse of the dazzling regalia, crowns, and other treasures used during coronations of the king, queen, prince, and princess. Over at the Tre Kronor Museum, you'll uncover the fascinating story of the old palace that tragically burned down in 1697. And don't miss Gustav III's Museum of Antiquities, where you'll marvel at the king's impressive sculpture collection. Tickets for the Royal Palace are 17 to 19 USD for adults and 8 to 9 USD for kids, depending on the time of year. The ticket includes access to all 4 museums, making it an amazing deal. Pro tip. If you have the Stockholm Pass, your entry is covered, so you can save a bit of money to spend on fika, Swedish coffee and pastry time later. Insider tip. Try to time your visit to catch the changing of the guard ceremony, which takes place in the courtyard. It's an iconic experience and a fun way to soak in some royal tradition. Late afternoon, visit the Royal Armory. After exploring the Royal Palace, step back in time with a visit to the Royal Armory. This fascinating museum showcases beautifully preserved royal carriages, sleds, armor, weapons, coronation robes, wedding gowns, and other priceless artifacts that offer a glimpse into how Sweden's political ties, fashion, and traditions have evolved over the centuries. I absolutely loved this museum. It's such a unique experience and definitely worth checking out. The Royal Armory isn't included in your Royal Pass ticket, so you'll need to purchase a separate ticket. Entry costs around 14 USD per adult, while kids and teens, ages 0 to 18, get in for free. Here's an insider tip. If you visit on a Thursday evening, 5 to 8 p.m., adult entry is just 7 USD, a perfect way to save a little cash. Watch the Royal Guard ceremony. If you happen to be near the Royal Palace around 12:15 p.m. on a weekday or 1:15 p.m. on a Sunday, don't miss the Royal Guard ceremony, also known as the Changing of the Guards. The ceremony lasts about 40 minutes, and yes, it's definitely a touristy thing to do, but it's also a fascinating thing to watch, even if it's just for a few minutes. And the best part? It's completely free. Insider tip. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes early to snag a good viewing spot near the main courtyard. This way, you'll have a front row seat to the action and can get some great photos of the guards in their traditional uniforms. Early evening. See the Golden Hall at Stockholm City Hall. Stockholm City Hall might not be the first place you'd think of when listing spectacular spots in the city, but trust me, it absolutely is. You can only visit this iconic landmark through a 45-minute guided tour, which takes you through some incredible rooms like the Blue Hall, the Council Chamber, and the Gallery of the Prince. Along the way, you'll dive into fascinating stories about Stockholm's politics, history, and culture. The highlight? The breathtaking Golden Hall. Its walls are adorned with over 18 million gold mosaic tiles, and let me tell you, it's a jaw-dropping sight. Honestly, I can't even begin to guess how much this room is worth, but it's nothing short of spectacular. Tickets for the tour cost around 14 USD, and they're well worth it. Insider tip. Make sure to plan ahead because the tour schedules can vary and spots fill up fast. If you're short on time or just want to soak up the atmosphere, don't miss the free City Hall courtyard and the peaceful waterfront garden Stadshusparken. It's the perfect spot to enjoy beautiful views across the bay, an absolute must-see even if you skip the tour. Try traditional Swedish cuisine on a food tour. Beyond Swedish meatballs, how much do you really know about Swedish food? My guess is not a whole lot, but don't worry, that's exactly why I recommend booking the Nordic Food Walk of Stockholm. I've always loved Swedish cuisine, but after this foodie walking tour, I'm officially obsessed. It's such a fun and delicious way to dive into Swedish culture and history. The tour took us through 6 incredible foodie stops along 3 charming neighborhoods, Östermalm, Norrmalm, and Gamla Stan. We sampled around 16 different delicacies. It was a flavor-packed journey. Here's a little taste, pun intended, of what you can expect. Swedish meatballs paired with creamy mashed potatoes, pickled cucumbers, and lingonberry sauce. A selection of artisanal cheeses, including Christmas-time specialty infused with cumin and cloves. Exotic wild game meats like smoked moose, bear jerky, and cured reindeer. The city's most iconic bowl of fish soup, a must-try for seafood lovers. The tour lasts around 4 hours and usually runs daily at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. Tickets are around $95 to $120 USD per person, depending on the season. Insider tip. Between May and September, tours sell out quickly, so it's best to book in advance. If you're a foodie or just curious about Swedish cuisine, this tour is an absolute must. You'll leave with a full stomach, a newfound appreciation for Nordic flavors, and maybe even a few new favorite dishes. Day 2. Dive into Stockholm's archipelago and cultural gems. Morning. Kayak Stockholm's waterways, May to September only. As you wander Stockholm's lively city streets, it's easy to forget that this vibrant metropolis is part of a stunning archipelago with over 30,000 islands. But if you love combining adventure with nature, why not hop on a kayak and paddle your way across the islands of the Baltic Sea for a completely fresh perspective on the city? If you're visiting between May and September, don't miss a 2-hour Stockholm City kayak tour. On this tour, around 60 to 80 USD per person, you'll glide past Stockholm's central islands, iconic landmarks, and many charming bridges. It's an unforgettable way to soak in the city's beauty from the water. Visiting in winter? No problem! Bundle up and try the winter kayaking tour through the stunning Vaxholm area of the archipelago. You'll paddle past tiny islands, historic fortresses, and enjoy sightings of local birds and wildlife. The price for this winter adventure is usually 90 to 120 USD per person. Insider tip. The winter kayaking tour starts in Vaxholm, which is an hour from central Stockholm. Getting there is half the fun. Take the scenic ferry, around 7 to 10 USD each way, and enjoy gorgeous views of the archipelago along the way. Visit Peaceful Djurgården, Museum Island. After you've explored Stockholm by water, it's time to dive into some of the city's incredible museums over Djurgården, also known as Museum Island. This spot is packed with amazing attractions that cater to every interest. From the world-famous Vasa Museum featuring a 17th century warship, to the world's oldest open-air museum at Skansen, there's so much history and culture to soak in. Feeling playful? Check out the ABBA Museum for a fun, interactive tribute to Sweden's iconic pop group, or head to the Gröna Lund amusement park for some thrilling rides and live performances. And for art lovers, the National Museum is a must-see. What I love the most about Djurgården is how peaceful it is. The lush greenery and calm atmosphere make it the perfect place to unwind. Strolling around the island is lovely, but renting a bike around 15 to 20 USD for a couple of hours is my favorite way to explore. It's both fun and practical. Insider tip. Many museums here offer discounted or even free entry on certain days, so it's worth checking their website in advance. And if you plan on visiting multiple attractions, consider getting the Stockholm Pass starting at about 75 USD for a 24-hour pass. It includes entry to most museums and attractions, plus free public transportation. Visit the Vasa Museum. The Vasa Museum is an absolute must-see on your 3-day Stockholm itinerary. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's not just the most visited museum in Scandinavia for nothing. This one-of-a-kind museum is home to King Gustav II, Adolf's prized warship, the Vasa, which tragically sank on its maiden voyage in 1628. Here's where it gets really amazing. After 333 years underwater, the Vasa was salvaged in 1961 and carefully restored. Today, you can marvel at this breathtaking piece of history up close. Seeing her in person is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Tickets are $18 USD per adult, and kids under 18 get in for free. Insider tip. If you've got the Stockholm Pass, your entry is already covered, so be sure to take advantage of it. Pro tip. Arrive early to beat the crowds, especially during peak season, and don't forget to check out the short film about the ship's history. It adds so much more context to the experience. Enjoy farm-to-fork lunch at Trädgårdscafé. After exploring a museum or two, take a leisurely stroll along Djurgården's lush walking trails and make your way to Rosendal's Trädgårdscafé, a dreamy foodie oasis tucked inside Rosendal's garden. It's the perfect spot to enjoy a farm-to-table lunch in a peaceful, soul-nourishing atmosphere. The menu changes with the seasons, but you can always count on mouth-watering options like sandwiches, soups, sweet and savory pastries, wood-fired sourdough bread, craft beer, biodynamic wine, homemade ciders, and more. And here's the best part, everything is certified organic. It's truly one of my favorite places to eat and simply unwind in Stockholm. Insider tip. The cafe is open daily from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., rain or shine, but it's especially magical on sunny days when you can sit outside and soak up the garden vibes. Also, prices for lunch typically range from $15 to $30 USD, depending on what you order, so it's a great value for such fresh and high-quality food. Don't miss it. It's one of Stockholm's hidden gems for food lovers. Afternoon. Stop by the Nordic Museum. The Nordic Museum offers a captivating journey through Nordic culture, traditions, and history spanning from the 16th century to today. With over 1.5 million artifacts on display, it's a treasure trove of fascinating historical objects. By the time you leave, you'll have a deeper understanding of how Nordic people have been shaped over the centuries, why they think, believe, pray, celebrate, eat, and live the way they do. It's a true cultural immersion, and I personally loved exploring the Nordic life, tradition, and table settings exhibits. They were absolute highlights. Tickets are about $16 USD per adult, and the best part? Kids under 18 get in for free. Insider tip. If you have the Stockholm Pass, your entry is already covered, so you can skip buying a separate ticket. Whether you're a history buff, a culture enthusiast, or just curious about Nordic life, this museum is an experience you won't want to miss. Late afternoon. Explore Swedish culture at Skansen. Skansen is the world's oldest open-air museum, and it's the perfect spot to soak up Swedish history, culture, and even a bit of local wildlife, all while enjoying a sunny morning. It's especially great if you're traveling with kids. This unique museum showcases original houses and farmsteads from all over Sweden, many of which were either carefully transported here either whole or piece by piece. You'll get a chance to learn about the indigenous Sami culture and see some amazing Scandinavian wildlife like reindeer, bears, wolverines, lynx, owls, and even adorable rabbits. Tickets for adults range from 18 to 24 USD depending on the season, while tickets for kids aged 4 to 15 are just 7 USD year-round. Kids under 4 get in for free, making it super budget-friendly for families. And here's an insider tip. If you have a Stockholm Pass, your entry is included, so don't forget to use it. Whether you're interested in history, animals, or just want to enjoy a beautiful day outdoors, Skansen has a little something for everyone. Early evening. Explore Norrmalm and Östermalm on foot. These neighborhoods are bursting with energy and style. Wander along bustling streets like Kungsgatan, Nybrogatan, Birger-Jarlsgatan, and Drottninggatan, where you'll find a mix of trendy restaurants, cozy bars, and chic Swedish design and fashion boutiques. Don't miss the Royal Swedish Opera for a quick peek at its stunning architecture, or pop into the Medelhavsmuseet, Museum of Mediterranean and Near Eastern Antiquities for a fascinating cultural experience. The entry fee is around 13 USD, but it's worth every penny for history lovers. And if you're visiting in spring, make sure to stop by Kungsträdgården Park to admire the cherry blossoms. It's the perfect spot to snap some gorgeous photos or take a short break to enjoy the view. Whether you're into shopping, dining, or just people watching, Norrmalm and Östermalm offer a little bit of everything. Just go with the flow and let the city charm you. Dinner and drinks at Östermalm. There are so many incredible restaurants and bars in Östermalm that it's impossible to name them all, seriously. But here are a few of my absolute favorites. No matter which one you choose, you're guaranteed a fantastic experience. Studehof. A true Stockholm classic with white tablecloth elegance, Studehof is renowned for its Swedish seafood dishes and creative seasonal takes on local favorites. It's the perfect spot for a special night out, or if you're looking to try iconic Swedish flavors and style. Insider tip: the seafood platter is a must-try, especially if you're visiting with friends. It's perfect for sharing. Studehof Matbaden. For something a bit more laid back, head to Studehof's casual tapas-style bar, Matbaden. Watch the chefs work their magic as they whip up seasonal dishes using only the freshest ingredients. Pair your meal with a glass of their expertly selected wine. Insider tip: arrive early to snag a seat at the counter. It's the best view in the house. Taiga and Cecil. This cozy spot specializes in natural wines and delicious Scandi-Mediterranean small plates. The atmosphere is warm and welcoming, making it the perfect place to relax and sip on unique wine pairings while nibbling on flavorful tapas. Insider tip: ask the staff for wine recommendations. They love sharing their favorites and might surprise you with a hidden gem. Wherever you choose to go, Östermalm's food scene is bound to leave you impressed and very well fed. Day 3. Palaces, hipster vibes, and ghostly legends. Morning. Visit Drottningholm Palace. How about a little more palace magic on the peaceful island of Lovön? Drottningholm Palace is a must-see with its stunning royal opulence and beautifully preserved 1600s architecture. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the permanent residence of the Swedish royal family, it's packed with history and charm. Don't miss the Chinese Pavilion, a whimsical pleasure palace, the Royal Theater, and the famous gardens, perfect for a sunny picnic. Getting there is half the fun. During the summer, the best way to visit is on a scenic boat cruise departing from City Hall Quay. It's a relaxing and picturesque journey that sets the tone for exploring this royal retreat. Alternatively, you can take SL public transportation with your 3-day SL travel card, which makes getting around Stockholm a breeze. Entry is super affordable at about 15 USD for adults and around 7 USD for kids aged 7 to 17. Insider tip: visit early in the day to enjoy the gardens while they're peaceful, and pack a picnic for a truly royal experience. Explore Södermalm. Södermalm is hands down Stockholm's trendiest neighborhood. Packed with hipster vibes and cool Scandinavian style, I definitely saved the best for last. This is the place to explore if you're into vintage shopping, cozy fika breaks, and a buzzing food and drink scene. Here are a few must-dos. Vintage shopping. Södermalm is full of quirky second-hand shops where you can score one-of-a-kind finds. Insider tip: head to Hornsgatan for some of the best vintage boutiques. Fika time. Stop by Drop Coffee for a cup of perfectly brewed coffee and a sweet treat. Insider tip: try their cardamom buns, they're a Swedish classic. Dining out. The neighborhood is full of trendy, internationally inspired restaurants, so you'll find something for every craving. Craft beer. For local brews, check out Stigbergets Foot or Udde Tap Room, where you can sip on craft beers in a laid-back atmosphere. Boutique shopping. Explore cool local boutiques offering everything from minimalist Scandinavian designs to funky handmade goods. Make sure to leave some time to simply wander around, soak up the lively atmosphere, and take in the sights and sounds of Stockholm's coolest neighborhood. Afternoon, visit the Fotografiska Museum. Are you a fan of photography and contemporary art? Then you absolutely can't miss Fotografiska, Stockholm's renowned photography museum located along the stunning waterfront in Södermalm. The experience is nothing short of captivating, thought-provoking, emotional, and sometimes even a little unsettling in the best way possible. It's one of those places that stays with you long after you leave, and I can't recommend it enough. Here's the best part. Fotografiska is open until 11 p.m. every night, so it's super easy to fit into your 3-day Stockholm itinerary even after a busy day of exploring. Tickets are about $16 to $18 USD depending on when you visit. Insider tip. If you have the Stockholm Pass, entry is included, so make sure you take advantage of it. Late afternoon, go for cocktails at Hönö Gin Bar. In Södermalm, you'll find the flagship bar of the world's best gin distillery, Hönö Gin Bar. And yes, I mean the best. Hönö has racked up just about every gin award out there, from World's Best Gin in 2017 to Distillery of the Year in 2024. If, like me, you love creativity and meticulously crafted cocktails, you're in for a treat. These were some of the best drinks we've ever had. We tried the Smoke, a delightful mix of pink gin, coconut, shiso, gooseberry, and lime leaf, smooth with a hint of exotic flair. The Spice, navy gin, honey, gooseberry, habanero, and ancho, perfect for anyone who loves a little kick. A classic Negroni, simple, timeless, and perfectly balanced. Insider tip. If you're unsure what to order, just tell the bartender your flavor preferences. They're cocktail wizards and will create something unforgettable for you. Enjoy Swedish fare at Freja and Söder. Some locals suggested we have dinner at Freja and Söder, an artsy rooftop bar and restaurant in Södermalm, and let me tell you, it was everything we'd hoped for and more. From the stunning panoramic views of Stockholm at sunset to the seasonal veggie-forward menu highlighting Swedish ingredients, Freja and Söder hit all the right notes. The vibe was warm and moody, the service was fantastic, and the food absolutely unforgettable. We shared the slow-cooked lamb stew with roasted tomatoes, white beans, potatoes, and roasted garlic mayonnaise designed for 2 people, and it was pure perfection. Comfort food taken to a whole new level. Prices for dishes range around 25 to 40 USD per person, depending on what you order. Insider tip. Be sure to make a reservation in advance, especially if you're aiming for a sunset dinner. The views alone are worth it, but paired with the incredible food, this spot is a total winner. Evening, go on the Stockholm Ghost Walk. Ready for the grand finale? After dinner, head back to Gamla Stan for a thrilling and spine-tingling experience you're absolutely going to love, the Stockholm Ghost Walk. I didn't know what to expect when I first booked this tour, but it ended up being one of the most unforgettable walking tours I've ever done. Our guide was not only hilarious, but also brought the dark history of Stockholm to life as we wandered through hidden corners of Gamla Stan I hadn't explored before. This lantern-lit tour dives into Stockholm's ghostly legends and true tales of war and murder, like the chilling story of the Stockholm bloodbath of 1520 carried out by the Danes. Equal parts eerie, fascinating, and entertaining, this tour is the perfect mix of spooky fun and history. Whether you scare easily or love a good ghost story, you'll leave with plenty to talk about. Hot tip. If you're up for one last drink after your ghost walk, stop by Farmarium, a craft cocktail bar in Old Town that's located in a beautifully restored alchemic pharmacy from the 1500s. Their creative cocktails are as stunning as the setting itself, an absolute must-visit for a magical end to your night. The Stockholm Ghost Walk is a fantastic way to wrap up your trip, and if you pair it with a cocktail at Farmarium, you'll end your time in Stockholm on an unforgettable note. That wraps up our unforgettable 3-day adventure through Stockholm, from exploring its rich history and vibrant culture to indulging in its amazing food scene. We hope this itinerary has inspired you to start planning your trip to this incredible city. If you're looking for even more travel inspiration, don't miss our video about Oslo, Norway. It's packed with tips, must-see attractions, and hidden gems to help you plan your next Scandinavian getaway. Hit that play button and start dreaming of your next adventure.